Well, going back to the Cohen tapes, they did little to rattle Trump's conservative base. Politically, the president may or may not pay a price, but legally, the cost could be steep. Attorney Andrew Stoltmann joins us live to talk about that. Andrew, thank you so much for joining us. I want to give our viewers a clear understanding of exactly what this investigation is about. First of all, with this investigation, no one has been indicted. And the second distinction I want to make is that it's in the hands of the U.S. Attorney's Office, the district in New York. There's a big distinction between the investigation that we're talking about with the Mueller investigation and this particular investigation, and I want you to sort of sort it out for us.
Yeah, well, look, the two aren't the same. They are not interchangeable. And I think everyone's kind of trying to lump everything together with respect to these investigations. They're two separate tracks, and I think those tracks are going to continue for a while, regardless of what happens with respect to the special counsel's investigation.
Okay, so we're talking about a separate investigation, but the FBI did raid Michael Cohen. They raided his home, his office, also his hotel room. So why is that important? And obviously, we're learning more and more about these tapes. What can these tapes prove?
Look, I'm kind of... When I hear about these tapes, what I think of is the Wendy's commercial and the old argument, where's the beef? I mean, there truly are a tempest in a teapot. There's no there there. And I get why they're sexy. I get why people are obsessing over them, because you have the president of the United States talking about a potential payoff to a Playboy model. So I get it, but it really isn't relevant in the grand scheme of things with respect to any of these investigations. They simply aren't important, because you have the president and his lawyer talking about a hypothetical payment that never takes place.
Okay, so hold on, but I want to make a distinction here, because the tapes were made. They cannot. Am I right when they cannot prove intent, or can they prove intent in the court of law?
No, they can't prove.
Okay,
look, they can't even get admitted into court because the tapes are not complete. You can't make a whole bunch of the conversation out, and it's only about half of the tape. So there's a proof problem. I don't even think they can be introduced in court, much less used.
Then the takeaway this week is A, why do we care? And then also the timing, because you're right. You made a reference that he is now the president of the United States. At the time, he was running for president. So the lines are getting blurred on where's that cash coming from? Is there a conflict when it comes to campaign finance? Do we need to care about that?
No, I think ultimately this is going to blow over, and it's not going to be important. I think you have to remember the motivation of Mr. Cohen. His motivation right now is either A, to get a presumptive pardon from the president, or B, to angle and get a good deal with the special counsel's office. And ultimately, you have a president, or soon-to-be president, talking to his lawyer in conversations that are supposed to be sacrosanct. They're supposed to be protected under all instances. And you have a gentleman, Mr. Cohen, who's taping these conversations. That's a breach of his attorney obligations. But then number two, when he leaks these tapes to CNN, that's a double breach.
Right.
So you have to remember his motivations. His motivations are impure. He's trying to angle for his own best deal, and that's problematic.
Okay, so then my next question is, and you said, what is his motivation? Does he want to get a better deal? Could he be in legal jeopardy otherwise? I think that any chance of him vying for perhaps a pardon, I don't think it takes an expert to say that's probably gone out the window. So does he want to? Has it not?
No, I don't think it's gone out the window. And I think the reason why he released these tapes, and he also made that disclosure with respect to President Trump's son meeting, is that he is very clearly angling for a pardon. I call it a presumptive pardon, kind of like what Ford did with Nixon. And that's what he wants. And if he doesn't get it, he is going to rat out, for lack of a better word, the president. And make no mistake about it, I don't think there's any question that Mr. Cohen has highly damaging information on the president. But when you are a president or soon to become president and you're dealing with your lawyer, you are free to talk with that person in any way you want and not have to worry about that attorney turning that information over to prosecutors. And that's what I think is the most unfortunate thing about these tapes.
Okay. Andrew Stoltmann, thank you so much for joining us, sir. Perhaps we'll be same place next weekend talking about more information. Its story just seems to keep on unraveling. So we hope to have you back, sir.
Amen.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Anytime.